Ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I'm pretty stressed out, to say the least, but don't worry, we are here. Crypto. What's going on, man? Obviously, Trump and good old President Macron had a little bit of a conversation, and the words rare earth metals are coming into play, and the tariffs with Canada and Mexico are still going ahead. So, do we know anything else? Is it anything new? Well, tech stocks are kind of weighing the pressure on the stock market overall. NASDAQ's taken a bit of a tumble to the downside. Bitcoin has just said no. And it's all starting to come into fruition. Maybe risk is starting to come off. And what we're going to do in this live, I'm just going to break down a few levels for you all. I will keep this live short and sweet for you so that you guys can continue about your day. So if you are new, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What's good? Yep, mad loves. Yeah, I was going to do a video. It just didn't work out that way. Never mind. Let's get with the program and break it all down for you. So Bitcoin takes a bit of a shoe bag to the downside, sweeps the Asian session range. And this is going to be a true key reading as to whether or not this is going to be the range that Bitcoin trades away from for the rest of the week, whether it's to the downside or whether it's to the upside. So as long as Bitcoin can sustain itself around this 94K region, then there is a possibility that Bitcoin could actually come back up towards 96,000 and then come back down to 94,000 and then go back up to 93,000 and then come back down to 91 to only move back up to 96. You've got the XRP formation coming into play with Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. And you're probably going to get things like this up until NVIDIA declares its earnings, because right now the marketplace is really asking itself, should we even invest in AI? Because if NVIDIA doesn't come through with its earnings, then investors are going to start taking money off the table. And that could be evident with the idea that the 10-year bonds market is still climbing. Investors are taking risk off and going into lower risk assets like the bonds market. The yields themselves have taken a nosedive today. So why on earth has the NASDAQ taken a tumble to the downside? It means that there is now an adjustment. Investors are going into low risk environments, trying to lock in yield at the expectation of what? The fact that maybe NVIDIA could miss on its earnings announcement, but more importantly, maybe they don't like the future of things. And we know we're going to get an interest rate cut in the future. So they're going to try and lock in yield right now. Going over into other assets like gold, having a look at safe haven status. Gold has been quite treacherous, to say the least. It's moved down to only move back up and still retaining its highs. Of course, Trump has had the conversation and he wants to speak with Zelensky and, of course, bring this Russia and Ukraine war to an end and make peace with everything. You've also got the idea that he slashed the defense spending by the US government, which means that certain companies ain't going to be getting the benefit of US government money in terms of contracts. So that's probably what's going off. You're seeing a lot of defense-based stocks taking risk off and probably starting to go into other assets that might be deemed more of a worthy investment. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, going into the euro's just been somewhat choppy. It hasn't done much, but that will obviously be explaining as to what the week is holding. Now, tomorrow, we do have the consumer confidence coming into play, and we are going back into the Asian session with the Japanese coming back from a bank holiday. So that's going to make things interesting. Going over into the Arkham itself to understand where we are with the block of the chain of the good old ETF. Let's break it all down for you. So not really seeing anything happening in terms of transactions. It's all over the place, to be honest with you. You did see BlackRock offload a few Bitcoin, and they always seem to be sticking with the one number of 300 Bitcoin in and 300 Bitcoin out. But more importantly, guys, just breaking it over to you with Bitcoin on the daily time frame, you can see Bitcoin is trying its hardest to hold this range. A violet vector candle is very important for us. Why? Because it does tell us that maybe this could be a slowdown in the way price is going lower. Looking at the bids and the offers, you can see that there's quite a bit of bids eating up this liquidity to the downside. Look, you've got big buy orders coming into play. Just had 10 million picked up at 94,000, and we're not really seeing anything else coming in. We've got 2.61 million that came in just below 93,652. And then, of course, we're waiting for the offers to come into play. It's just been a bit of a dodgy day, to say the least. I mean, cryptocurrency, it's not doing anything. What is keeping Bitcoin suppressed? And it's just people just buying and selling continuously. There's nothing fancy about it. But with the daily time frame, now that price is trading below the 5 and 13 EMA, that's a bit of a problem for us. In other words, if Bitcoin does lose this range right here, it's going down and it will most definitely attack the vectors to the downside. And that might be something you guys might not like. What if there's a possibility that NVIDIA actually misses on its earnings? Going over into NVIDIA stock itself, just quickly bring that up for you. NVIDIA right now is trading down 3% for the day, but not doing too bad given that it is still at the highs and retaining that very, very well. What are we looking for with the earnings on NVIDIA? If they turn around and say, things are okay, we are still getting our orders, but it looks like we're seeing a bit of a change in the way people are actually consuming AI. That's going to send NVIDIA down. We need to see stellar earnings from NVIDIA. They have to be so optimistic about things, but there are articles out there suggesting that NVIDIA might be going through some growing pains. Quite frankly, guys, it's all on NVIDIA. This stock, okay, is going to dictate if this move to the upside by NASDAQ, this move to the downside by NASDAQ is being primed to come back up, because Friday's sell-off did trigger a little bit of interest in certain players, but there's a lot of stock dip buyers, coming into play. So what is the story? NVIDIA is the only thing that's going to retain it. And quite frankly, if NVIDIA doesn't come through, neither will Bitcoin. You might not like to hear that, but at least your Bitcoin will be cheaper going into the order flow. There is significant orders down below. You got another big order, 25 million at 90,000. And if you remember, that's 69 million on Bitcoin, 39 million at 83,555. And I believe if we go even further down, I don't know, 70,000, that's a bit of a pain. But look at all these big orders, 20 million, 30 million. It's all down below. And logic says that you really want to see Bitcoin go down for it to come back up again. That's the truth. You know, that's my logic with everything across the board, guys. But like I said, it's important that Bitcoin retains this range right here, and a break beyond this 91,000 zone. I mean, look, even if it breaks down beyond 93,337, you're going to have a bit of a cheaper Bitcoin. And the fact that it hasn't made it above the 5 and 13 EMA on the daily time frame, and it has not yet even shown promise to try and close above the 50 EMA cloud, which is what you see right here. I gave you guys the warning, wait for 3 daily candles to get above that before you start buying Bitcoin. And if you didn't, and you were buying Bitcoin up here, you would be in a drawdown right now. Now, some of you might be like, yeah, man, it's DCA and all that. But quite frankly, how many of you do want to open an investment for it to be in the drawdown straight away? You don't want to be doing that. So when you wait for certain criteria to come into play, you improve the odds of a return on your investment. Okay? So just take that into consideration. Bitcoin holding a trend line. There is loads of liquidity up at 96, 96.4. Well, there you go. There's that logic as well. You've aged in February. My days. I've aged today. Any questions, guys? Any questions to keep this one live, short and sweet for you all? Is this the buying opportunity we need in crypto? Well, how expensive is Bitcoin? It's 94,000. And people, look, quite frankly, guys, why isn't Bitcoin going up? If Bitcoin's meant to be going up, it will be going up. If it's going to go down, it's more than likely going to go down, and it's showing you more of price going lower. So there could be a little, as I said to you before, if you go back and watch the live streams, we're looking for a sweep. We really need to see that sweep attack to make the reversal back up. Pick up the bids, make the reversal. That's what we're looking at. Solana, man. I mean, Solana, oh my days. It's just an absolute madness for Solana. It really is. It's just taken a nosedive. It's come back down, and it's respecting a cyclical move. You're going back into this next area of consolidation. I mean, if Solana's candle continues the way it's continuing right now, then it's unlikely Solana's going to be at these prices for a long period of time. I mean, the nearest zone that you could see Solana come and clear is, of course, down here. Meme coin hype is starting to wear off. You got the US dominance itself up nearly 3.2%. And like I said to you, it's going to make its way towards these points. It's come up in towards that wick where psychologically investors like to buy Bitcoin from that range. So we expect that 4.69%, maybe going into the 4.91% on USDT, would naturally then make you believe, okay, this is now a time to buy Bitcoin. Rolling over to the dominance, it's still up 1.16%. I'm telling you, it's going to 64. That's my belief. And as long as it maintains 64, then Ethereum's just going to have a hard day, and it's just not going to do anything but stay in exactly the same zone as it was before. It's starting to get really frustrating. I mean, even XRP, that thing's moved, but it hasn't even gone anywhere. It's just staying where it is. Maybe it is going to be due to come down towards this wick. That wick is something that they need to attack to offset the book and level the playing field. Okay? Would major catalysts be triggered by institutional buyers and government policy, or does that not have much of an impact? Thinking mainly of XRP. Listen, XRP is always going to move up and down. And if everything is good across the board, then you'll see XRP move up 50 cents. Okay. But quite frankly, it's all going to be endorsements with XRP. And we get all sorts of endorsements with XRP and it still doesn't move. All right. And that's the frustrating thing. Most of you are looking at your altcoins thinking, damn, which is true. You know, do you think we have a market cycle top? I believe that NVIDIA, yes, Tino, in the hybrid system, can vector candles be used as liquidation heat map? Yes, you can use vector candles as liquidations, okay? Because in order for price to move that fast, they have to be hitting something, and that is usually liquidation points, okay? Because that's why you see candlesticks move at speed. Why is it the open today? Bitcoin takes a nosedive at speed because they're gunning for people's liquidity. Hi, big nose. One question. If the gold at Fort Knox will be gone, well, your nose is big enough yourself probably to work it out for yourself. Happy days. Answer your own question. Any other questions? Wouldn't that mean it's being suppressed on purpose, though? Probably. I believe it is being suppressed, given that Bitcoin itself on the ETF ain't offloading. Investors aren't really reacting to anything if this balance remains the same. Remember, this is Bitcoin ETF. So BlackRock doesn't have exposure, but earns off the fees off it. And if investors aren't getting rid of it yet, then that's what's keeping Bitcoin's price. Isn't it funny how Wall Street right now is retaining Bitcoin's price? What happened to crypto? That's what everyone was waiting on before. You know, why is this physical gold pouring in the United States? USD is going to repeg to gold standard. If the if dollar goes back to the standard, gold standard, then boy, they'll owe a lot of people money, man. They really would. And when they come away from the gold standard, you know, it's why do I need to pay you money that I create? You know, I'll just print more. I'll never be in debt to you. So I'll just print more and more and more, you know? Manipulation to its finest. If Dixie breaks support zone, boom, we fly. Probably. Tino. Elliot, bruv. Any other questions? Between Forex and crypto, which market is best to... The best market for me is Forex and futures markets. You see movements happening all the time. We're talking about it today in the Discord. I've recorded a live trading session today for the Platinum members. It was quite an eventful trading session itself. And it was trading the V-shaped plays on the NASDAQ, playing W formations, placing bids. It was quite interesting. It was a bit of a drawdown of 2.5K. And then we ended up seeing quite a significant return on that. It was about 5K return for the day. Where was it? Yeah, so about $5,600 return, but I've flipping just today's been awkward. But yeah, I'm going to be uploading that video very shortly, but I'm teaching people how to understand the depth of market. And this is what we were trading, the V-shaped reversal on the NASDAQ. Okay. And then in the Discord, we were talking about this story over here with W formations on the NASDAQ. We were waiting for this. We shared that. And then, of course, what ended up playing from it was this W structure right here, went up towards the VWAP itself. The guys made some money, and then we walk away. And then NASDAQ said, nope, let's just make a move to the downside. So they ended up clearing out. It was quite hard to trade it today, but you can see it was very short-lived. And it's always W formations that happen on the NASDAQ. There you go. W formations on the NASDAQ. Here's something for you, okay? Go and look at all the W formations that you see on the NASDAQ forming on the 1 minute time frame. And then look at all the W formations that form on Bitcoin, and you will reevaluate what asset you would be trading. And I can guarantee you'll be trading the NASDAQ, not Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is being manipulated left, right, and center. Too many people come into crypto and they hope for the moon, the moon, the moon. And they don't get the moon. They end up getting Uranus. And then, of course, they get wiped out, and then this behavior happens, and it's just leaving people all over the draw on whether Bitcoin's going to go up or down. Quite frankly, Bitcoin breaks beyond 91. Bitcoin's taking a nosedive. It will be cheaper for you. What's wrong with that? Crypto is the new Berkshire Hathaway. What do you think about that, Tino? Crypto is the new Berkshire Hathaway. Interesting. What? Store of value? Nah, I don't think crypto is a store of value just yet. Because if it was, then you wouldn't be expecting an all-time high, and neither would you be expecting a drop down. It will just stay flat. That's what I think that what's going on with cryptocurrency. But it's being manipulated. Everyone is relying on Trump to sign orders for cryptocurrency. Make crypto, make the United States the home for cryptocurrency. Okay, all right then. Get it pushed, my friend. Like, do something. Start buying the Bitcoin for the Bitcoin reserve. Utah, Arizona, they're all trying to get these bills passed and nothing's happening. Do you think Bitcoin top is here or one more and we're done for this cycle? I believe the top is in. I really do. Because if Bitcoin's not going up and it always seems to be trading lower, you're probably going to be seeing Bitcoin going down, So looking at the bids and the offers, it's all there. The thing is, the next cycle for Bitcoin is pending. It's just they need to buy it up first. Ain't no one going to be buying Bitcoin at these premiums. That's why you're seeing it come down and then it moves back up again to only come back down again. Just look at the behavior. They bring it down, they bring it up, bring it down, bring it up. All right. And that's, you've heard me say it. They're short term with their holdings on Bitcoin. You're buying $28 million worth of Bitcoin in these little ranges right here. Look, you buy 10, 15 million. What is it? Where was it? 2.5 million. Then you got this 8. Where was it? It was a big order. 10 million right there. 94,000. All right. You don't need Bitcoin to move up that much to make a return on 10 million, man. You don't. And that's the problem we've got. Investors aren't holding their positions for long. It's like that order at 56. Oh, what have I just done? What have I just done? There we go. It's like that order at 56, at 96,000 that was there. There's an offer to sell Bitcoin at 96,000 and it's 50 million. So that's a problem for me because they're buying and they're wanting to sell soon as, Sentiment is cooked. 25% Trump tariffs hitting me hard. I have to redo all my estimates for steel fencing. Customers are going to be cheesed off. This is true. Bit sick of trading crypto. I've been trading gold and for the first time this year. Oil today. Happy day, sunshine girl. Gold is only moving up because there is an expectation that interest rates are going to be cut. Okay, but at the same time, you've got investors not trusting the scene with the tariffs and want to know what's going on with that. So they just roll over to that. Can we expect Japan to raise interest rates again because of inflation? Yes, you can. I'm expecting the Japanese yen to go up in value. Most definitely. Look, it's getting ready, man. They're getting ready to mark up the yen. Go into daily time frame. It's about to explode higher. It's moving up. Okay, they're going to do it. They're going to be buying up dollars and selling them to go into yen to do that Forex intervention because as long as the dollar dominance keeps on climbing up, then we've got a problem. Since we're most likely to continue this bearish trend in crypto, do you think we'll have another 2-year bear market? I don't think you'll get a 2-year bear market as such, but ultimately AI itself is going to be dictate. Look, NVIDIA, that's all I'm saying to you all guys. NVIDIA is going to reveal if we're going to see another bull run. Quite frankly, it's going to be NVIDIA. Because the market has sustained itself with high interest rates. The labor market is still low, okay? If we can control inflation and make that go down at the current rates that the US is putting out, then if NVIDIA comes in through and through with its earnings, then that tells us that businesses, consumers, they're all picking up NVIDIA stock and they're buying into their product. And that is naturally going to be fueling investors' logic that, okay, let's just go over to NVIDIA and buy NVIDIA stock. Tech market is the one right now. But if NVIDIA doesn't come through with it, Bitcoin will slump. It really will. It will slump. Maybe that is what we could be getting right now. Hopefully that's not the case. But if you are going to trade Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin, you do nothing until Bitcoin breaks above the 50 EMA. This is for the daily time frame players. You want to make sure you're buying Bitcoin as it gets above this 50 EMA cloud above 98. Because if you're looking for a trajectory Bitcoin breakout towards and beyond the upside, the all-time high, it needs to break 98. Right now, you're not seeing that happening. That's the thing. Pray for NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA will bring a lot of pain in the market. I mean, I'm looking at the options markets as well. And I'm trying to see if there is quite a lot of options coming in. Look, I've got sell calls coming in. 2 million on NVIDIA. That was towards the close of today. MicroStrategy sell calls. 3.65, 3.65. All right. So, and you got 2.17 again on MicroStrategy going in towards the close. XYZ, quite a few there. But I'm not seeing, look, NVIDIA again, sell calls 4.2 million. So Microsoft as well. It's just not looking good. I mean, they're doing it all beforehand. You know, they're positioning themselves. It's only another 48 hours until that happens. You know, 4 million on sell calls right, buy puts right there. Sound. What is going on with Sound? They're offloading on Sound. Sound, soon, whatever it is. But yeah, this is the options chain right here, man. It's interesting. Interesting to say the least. How come EURUSD and USD/JPY took a dropped simultaneously? Isn't Euro drops, USD rises? That's pretty much, yeah, no more alt season, sorry. Yeah, that's the thing you've got to be mindful of. Euro moves up, dollar moves down, and dollar, you know, when you see that happening, when you see the abnormal behavior, you know something's not right with the market. If euro goes down, dollar goes down, okay, you think, hold on a second, how's that making sense? Does that mean investors are seeking the safety of the yen? You know, are they going into that? Like, what is being weighed up more? And when you look at it, it's not the yen they're going into. They're going into gold. Look at gold. It's just climbing. So even though dollar down, euro down, you're like, what the hell? And there's gold. They're seeking safety. Investors are not liking things. And on top of that, you've got the 10-year bonds trading positive. Does this look like a high-risk environment? NASDAQ and S&P are all-time highs, getting ready to pull back. Could this be the one fat M formation that we're waiting for? Remember, stocks in relations to bonds, the stock-bond ratio is massive. That means stocks are overvalued in relation to the bonds. Bonds go up, stock market goes down. That's not the relationship you want. They only do that when they're concerned about things. You want low risk in an awkward and an uncertain environment, go to the bonds, because they know they're going to cut the rates. And when the yields start to go down and the stock market goes down and the bonds market goes up, that doesn't make sense. Yield markets and the tech market is very subject to changes in that environment. So if the interest rate of the yield goes up, the NASDAQ doesn't like that. The yield goes down, the NASDAQ should move up, but it hasn't. It's taken a nosedive. And that tells you that investors are going into other lower risk environments. So take that into consideration. Hey, Tina, do you see Bitcoin coming to 85K to be able to continue to 150K? That's where the shake-off will be. Smart money going to come in. Historically, they always have a huge dip before last super parabolic move. Let me explain something. The only way Bitcoin will get to that parabolic state, guys, is it's not going to... I don't think you'll get a parabolic move when Wall Street's playing it. They'll be taking profits too soon. They ain't holders. They ain't got no diamond hands, diamond balls, whatever you want to call it. They don't have that logic, man. They're in for the clients. And if their clients want to get rid of their Bitcoin ETF, they will get rid of it. They ain't going to be relying on anything. You can take your super parabolics and go. And that's the problem with crypto. It's like parabolic moves and what have you. As much as we'd love that with Bitcoin, don't get it wrong. I'm for the Bitcoin, guys. Don't get twisted. But it's just we've got an imbalance that needs to be filled. And that's the problem. And the more Bitcoin trades closer and closer towards these levels, that's where I'll be more inclined to see it come into it, you know? What do you think about Pi Network? 6-year-old project. Yeah, I remember Pi Network released on the 20th. $2, then now 60 cents. Now $1.60. That is some crazy price action with Pi. Is it actually being listed right now? Can we actually look at that? No. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look at it here. Yeah, it's still too soon, man. Still too soon. All right. You've got to literally just wait and see. It's a pancake swap job. You know, in other words, just been listed, pump, dump, and then you'll know exactly where you stand with the asset, you know? Any other questions? Dollar backed crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, Japan already integrated with all banks. Yeah. Like I said, man, XRP, in my opinion, you're not going to get the pump that you want from XRP itself based on banks endorsing it. Banks are going to be holding the seed coin of XRP. That's the coin that they're going to be playing. So that coin's going to be valuable. But the coins that we have, I don't think it's going to get to the levels that you want. you know? I don't know why I'm like this. It's just because I'm witnessing Bitcoin not doing anything. It's frustrating the life out of me. Parabolic when OTCs dry up, sovereign wealth pension funds step in. Yep, you could say that, but there was a dry up on the OTC market and nothing happened. You know? Miners were selling their Bitcoin on the OTC market, so they're selling it to who? Well, now you've got an ETF. It's back in. Nothing's happening. Saylor does not realize that when he'll own half of Bitcoin, he will not going to be able to sell profitably. Rookie, okay, maybe. Won't Bitcoin be following the M2 money supply? True. Yeah, it does follow the M2 money supply, which is why risk is off. Bitcoin down. You hedge against inflation, guys. It should be going up, but it's not, which means the big boys are playing it. You know, Wall Street's playing it. So that's my logic. Thank you very much. Boat Ski, thank you so much, bro. Tina, what platforms can we use in the UK? Use Binance. I cannot use other ones. What can you explain me? I use NinjaTrader. You can use BTC.C. Okay, just get into the Discord and you can find out more about that. What if all countries start buying it? It's not going to be Wall Street, but the governments that will start the golden Bitcoin rush. Guys, look, the ETF itself created Bitcoin's move to the upside. The hype is done on the ETF. All right. The next thing is the government, the US government buying Bitcoin. You think they're going to be buying it at these premiums? Nah, not me. Why do camel... I'm done with you and your camels. Any other questions, guys? Trying to find... Yeah. The earlier show, yeah, probably NVIDIA earnings, Bitcoin up to 100K on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe. Tina, the liquidity map out of map a lot of shorts. This is true. Honestly, do you think Bitcoin heading towards bear market or still room for bulls? You've got to say to yourself, why is Bitcoin not doing it? Look, I simplify it for you all, okay? If Bitcoin does not get above this 50 EMA cloud, okay, this range, if it does not get above that point, all right, don't buy it. Because if you do decide to buy it, as it's going down, you run the risk of your investment losing money. You don't want to lose money, simple as. So you're waiting for the right point to get in. Some people are, I love the fact that it's going down, it's getting cheaper. They buy it at 94,000. They end up buying it at 85,000. They end up buying it again at 78,000. They then buy it again at 64,000. They buy it at 58. The missus kicks them out. They buy it again at 44. The dog even walks away from them. They buy it again at 34 and they've had to sell their long just to break even. It's a little bit of a difficult thing when you're buying as it's going down. Yeah, we get the idea. You buy it as it's dropping. But again, DCA is on the premise that you're in a rally to the upside because you buy the dips and then it continues. Right now, you're trading below a key moving average. The average of price right now over the last 50 candles is trading below the average. The only way Bitcoin can show worth to go higher is if it can break above the 50 EMA cloud, because then that means that the average has changed. It means that there's been momentum. It means that something stepped in to mark it up. You're not seeing that, and you've got dead money down here. And the market doesn't like an empty book. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that makes sense and you can make some sense of it. Be sure to like and subscribe on the way out, and I'll tune into you all tomorrow morning. Take care of yourselves, gang.